Aaron Rodgers' 2-week stint as the Jeopardy host has come to an end. There were several memorable moments that revolved around Rodgers and the Packers, and the QB made it clear that hosting the game show would be a dream gig. Rodgers received mostly positive reviews, but so far has not been the consensus favorite of the recent guest hosts. So, Shannon, what shot would you give Rodgers to become the permanent Jeopardy host here?
Skip, I'm a game show guy, Skip. I used to watch game shows. I don't watch them as much as I used to, but I go back to watching game shows as long as I can remember. And the thing is, I don't know if people realize this, Skip, when they hire a game show host, they're not looking to replace him after 5 or 10 years. These guys normally stay on for a very, very long time. Pat Sajak is almost coming up on 40 years of the Wheel of Fortune. And before him, it was Chuck Woolery. And so I remember that, Skip, and Drew Carey took over. He's at 14 years. Bob Barker was 35 years before Drew Carey took over for 14 years. So you're looking at 50 years, and you're talking two hosts. Dick Clark, the $10,000 pyramid. He was 25 years. Now Michael Strahan is $100,000. So when they put someone in these spots, Skip, they're looking for them to stay there at least a minimum of 25 years. And Aaron Rodgers would fit that bill because he's plenty young enough. I thought he did a very good job. I believe he's only going to get better. Now, I think this week, our own Joe Buck. Now,
I think it's Anderson Cooper.
Anderson Cooper this week, and then Joe Buck coming up. I think guys like that have a decided advantage because they've been in TV for so long. They're used to reading promptly. They're used to, you know, having producers talk in their ear and things of that nature. So they have a decided advantage. But I thought Aaron Rodgers did good. I think he'll get even better. But the question is he going to want this kind of commitment? Skip, this is not like a 2 or 3 year commitment, Skip. You're talking about something that's going to could be in place somewhere between 25 and 40 years. So I think he would do great. But the question is he going to want this? This is going to be a very, very long-term commitment.
So I'm also a game show fan, and I am a Jeopardy fanatic, as you know. Ernestine and I have not missed an episode for 15 years, but we watch them on Friday night, 5 at once, blow through the commercials.
You bundle.
Yep, we bundle. And sorry, Ernestine, but I win every game, but that's okay.
Skip, you do realize you just can't blurt out the answer. You got to. That's what you be doing. I know you do.
I blurt
with Ernestine.
I blurt a lot. I blurt a lot on this show. But I told her, you can call her right now and ask her. I had high hopes for Aaron. I thought he would be better than he ultimately was. Last Friday night, I watched the second 5 very carefully. So I watched all 10 episodes that he did over a 2-week period. It shot in 3 days. So it's hard over 3 days to get a whole lot better because there's not enough time in between. It's just bam, 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 go, 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 go. To the end, he was always a little too self-conscious for me. He was forcing it. He was a little too aware of the camera. Like, hi, I'm the Jeopardy host. Do you love me? I love me. Do you love me? That's how it came across to me to the bitter end.
Skip, he'll loosen up.
It's possible he would. But as you know, with Alex, the great late Alex Trebek, what did he always say? You have to make the contestants the stars of the show or it won't work. And Aaron had a harder time at that because he's always been in the spotlight.
He's always been Aaron Rodgers.
And he's got some diva in him for the better and for the worse. But you have to have some diva in you to do what he does at this level in the National Football League. So now he's trying to suddenly grasp, what's my persona? Can I be Aaron Rodgers on here, or do I have to be Alex Trebek? And he got caught in the crossfire of that in his psyche. It's hard. And I thought he was a little awkward. Sometimes Alex could be too, with the contestant interviews, because it has to be bang, bang. It has to be quick. It has to be natural. It has to be glib. And that brings me to Joe Buck. As soon as I read the story over the weekend that Joe's in this mix, I said, bingo. I am the biggest Joe Buck fan. He is so glib, so witty, so natural. He was born to host. It's just who
he got range out the yin yang. He got range. From football to golf to baseball, you name it, he can do it.
It comes so easily,
Yes.
so naturally. He makes me so comfortable.
But Skip, that's the thing though. It's like I said, he has an unfair advantage because
He
he's
does.
tagging along with his dad and seeing how it operates and how it goes, and so it doesn't bother him to. He knows what a camera is,
Right?
But he knows, and when you have a partner, and he and Troy, they're so great together. Is that he gets it, Skip?
Just gets it, and he wants to make Troy the
Right,
stars he
right,
should,
right.
and stay mostly out of the way.
Right, he
But
does a
when
great
it's-
job with I think he when he has when he I forget his partner here at Fox when he's calling baseball. I think John Smoltz said it
Yeah,
sometimes.
Smoltz, yes.
Skip, it just he understands that he's a storyteller. And when you tell the story, you make Troy look good, but you also make it about what you're watching on the field. So he'll understand that it's about the three contestants and not about Joe Buck. But Skip, and Joe is great in his own right. Aaron is going to have to learn, I got to be Aaron Rodgers pre-football, pre-Green Bay Packers.
He does.
And once he does that, Skip, he'll be just fine. But it's hard because he's almost been Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packer, as long as he's been Aaron Rodgers, anything else.
Right.
So he'll loosen up. I promise you he'll loosen up.
Obviously, it became very difficult for me to forget that was Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
And after a while, you need to.
Yes.
You need to say, this is Jeopardy, right?
Because Skip, the other guys are coming in. Yeah, hell, I didn't know what Pat said when he took over for Chuck Woolery. I was like, this ain't gonna last because I've been watching Chuck Woolery for 20 years and for 10 years. I was a kid, Skip, and I'm like, and now this dude has come up since 1983. Pat Sajak has been the host of Wheel of Fortune. And if I'm not mistaken, Vanna White has been there every step of the way because she might have been there with Chuck Woolery too. So, Skip, you just get to, you forget, like I said, this is a huge commitment. This is not, well, you know what? Quarterback after 10 years, they're looking at, they don't look to replace game show hosts.
So I told you that Mike Richards, who's the executive producer of the
Yes.
show, tried his 2 weeks.
Right.
And he was a finalist with Drew Carey for Price is Right to replace Bob Barker.
Bob Barker.
So he's a host by nature. He's hosted several game
Right,
shows
right.
and other kinds of shows.
Right.
So the point was, in his 2 weeks, I forgot it was Mike Richards because he just blended right in.
Right.
It was easy for him and very natural for him. We'll see how Anderson Cooper does, and then we'll see how Joe Buck does.
I think, Skip, to be honest, it would be hard for anybody to get that job if you've already had a job and been on TV before. Because what you fail to realize, I don't remember Pat Sajak. I don't remember him doing anything else. You know, Art Fleming was before before Alex Trebek.
Right.
And you got to go way, way back. But to have an Anderson Cooper, you see him every night on CNN. You see Joe Buck, 200 days a year calling sporting events.
Yeah.
So it's
but
kind
Alex Trebek had done 2 or 3 other game shows before he came to Jeopardy. Maybe you didn't know him because
right, but Skip, TV wasn't like it is right now. And now you got a game show network. So it's a different ball game now. But Joe Buck is unfair. Joe, pull out. You should pull out and let Aaron win this.
Are you sure Aaron isn't using this as just a little more leverage against the Packers?
No.
Like a threat? I may just do this.
Hey, you know what his leverage is? When he walk in there and slam that MVP trophy down. That's my leverage, 48-4. What y'all gonna do about that?
They're gonna
Mark Murphy.
slam down Jordan Love.
Okay.
This is who we drafted in the first round just a year ago. How do you like that?
You know what? Aaron need to go in there with have his agents and give a call. So y'all need to go ahead and move me. I no longer feel welcome. I don't feel loved, and I don't think this relationship is repairable. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, maybe he wants to just full-time it on Jeopardy.
No, he don't want to just fool. Just stop doing that. That man wanted to play court. So you want him to walk away from the game after an MVP season?
He's going on 38 years of age.
Tom Brady
That
going on
used to be
43.
old. They used to be
Hold on,
old.
Tom Brady going on 44.
Aaron's got a new love in his life. You don't
What I
know.
gotta do with
Maybe
it?
he just decides I've had enough of this football stuff. I want a non-contact sport.
So now he Trevor Lawrence. Huh? So now football is not the end all be all to him.
No, 1-4 in NFC Championship games.
Well, he got beat, Skip. He got beat. The better team won.
Okay.
I just thought it was nice to see how much he enjoyed it, petitioning
Yes.
for it in so many ways, like on social media,
He
posting
enjoyed
all the time about Jeopardy. But how about this? Think about this scenario. If Joe Buck, let's say he gets the gig, right? And he's sitting down with Aaron Rodgers while covering NFL games. Like, how
I ain't
would
talking
that
to him.
dynamic
You
go?
beat me out for the job. I ain't talking to you.
I'm a big Joe Buck fan. I'm looking forward to watching him, guys. I want to get back to this. Did Durant intentionally throw shade at Westbrook? Chris Broussard, he will join us.